Zodiac killer who terrorized San Francisco. Identified, by team of 40 cold case investigators. The case of the serial killer, who murdered 5 people in the late 1960s before taunting the police through letters to the media, has remained unsolved for more than 52 years. A team of cold case investigators believe they have identified the Zodiac killer, who has been at the center of one of the U.S. most notorious unsolved criminal cases for more than half a century. The case breakers, who say they are a team of more than 40 former law enforcement investigators, journalists and military intelligence officers, have named the serial murderer as Gary Francis Poste. The Air Force veteran from the Sierra foothills died in 2018, according to the investigators. The Zodiac killer murdered 5 people in the Bay Area of California between 1968 and 1969. He taunted police and made threats through letters sent to area newspapers before abruptly ceasing communication. His letters would contain ciphers which he claimed would reveal his identity if they were decoded. In one letter, the Zodiac himself claimed to have murdered 37 victims, and he has been linked to several other cold cases, but only the 5 Bay Area murders and 2 attempted murders have been officially attributed to him. Despite the circumstantial evidence presented by the case breakers, federal and police investigators tasked with solving the 52-year-old mystery told the San Francisco Chronicle that the latest theory doesn't hold up. The investigators' theory is partly based on Poste's similarity in photos to a 1969 police sketch of the Zodiac killer. One of the key similarities is said to be the scars on his forehead. Jen Buchholz, a former Army counterintelligence agent who is a member of the team, also said letters. She told Fox News, "So you've got to know Gary's full name in order to decipher these anagrams. I just don't think there's any other way anybody would have figured it out." The case breakers also claim to have proof their suspect killed Sherry Jo Bates, a woman murdered in Riverside, California, in 1966. The murder had been attributed to Zodiac in the past, but Riverside police have debunked the theory. A number of theories have been put forward as to the identity of the Zodiac killer over the years, including a son who claimed it was his dead father, and another man who claimed his friend confessed to the crimes before his death in 2002. Sent by the Zodiac killer reveal Poste to be the killer when the anagrams in them are deciphered. However, the only man ever named as a suspect was Arthur Lee Allen of Vallejo, California, who died in 1992. In response to the case breakers' theory which names Gary Poste, the San Francisco office of the FBI said in a statement to the San Francisco Chronicle on Wednesday, "The Zodiac killer case remains open. We have no new information to share at the moment." The San Francisco Police Department echoed the statement to the California-based paper. The San Francisco Chronicle and police get hundreds of tips every year on potential Zodiac suspects and solutions to the coded messages. Converge may have just connected with the model that appears on the cover of their 2001 album Jane Doe. A social media post by model Audrey Marnay certainly appears to reveal her association with the cover art, but her comments on the post make it seem as though she just learned of the usage. "Hi Converge, it's Jane Doe, shall we talk?" wrote Marnay on the post, which offers a look at the original album art that is a mixed media piece created by Jacob Bannon. The second slide of her Instagram post features the cover that Marnay posed for that appeared on an Italian edition of Marie Claire in 2001 with the same expression and look. According to Marnay, she posed for photographer Jan Welters for the photo that appears on May 2001 edition of the magazine. When asked about the cover art in a 20th anniversary interview for Decibel that appeared last month, Bannon recalled, "At the time I was going through a great deal of negative in my life. When I was refining the lyrics, it was apparent that the album thematically dealt with that relationship disintegrating. The album was my lyrical purging of that experience. The artwork visually encapsulates that lyrical theme. The visuals attempted to capture the feeling of disintegration and rebirth." He added, "I spent a great deal of time on that, building figures out of texture and acrylic, scanning multiple layers of imagery, etc. I spent close to a month creating large mixed media pieces for each song on the album. I used a high contrast approach to the artwork, as it was a style I was growing towards at the time. I felt that the cold iconographic feel was extremely fitting for the subject matter. In the Instagram post, one commenter offered, "So you've been an icon of hardcore punk for 20 years and never knew," to which Marne replied, "Crazy right?" In the same Decibel interview, Nate Newton stated, "It's interesting to me how the cover of that record, the Jane Doe face, has become almost iconic in the hardcore scene. It's almost like the new Misfits skull or something. Not that I'd compare us to that, but it blows my mind that we still sell a shitload of Jane Doe shirts. Go to a hardcore show and there's a good chance you'll see a kid wearing a Converge shirt, and there's a good chance it'll be a Jane Doe shirt." He continued, "The face doesn't call to mind anything specific, but at the same time, it's a strong image that you can put meaning into. I think that's what makes certain pieces of art powerful, you can look at it and put your own meaning into it." It seemed like during that time period, Jake and Aaron Turner really put the focus back on fine art back into album artwork, at least in this scene. It wasn't just, "Here's a picture of the band, here's our lyrics."